Hey everybody, Nick Vogt here, and we have sports for you all. Let's do this. College football scores.
Here are the results from college football for Week 4.
Oh, just 1 second.
Voiceover on.
College football scores.
Here are the results from college football for Week 4. Wisconsin lost to Maryland. The final score was 27-10. Louisville bested Bowling Green by a score of 40-17. Virginia Tech defeated Wofford by a score of 38-6. TCU beat SMU by a score of 35-24. Clemson lost to Syracuse. The final score was 34-21. Do you want to hear the next 5 games?
Yes.
Memphis outdid Arkansas by a score of 32-31. Utah was beaten by Texas Tech. The final score was 34-10. Tennessee overcame UAB by a score of 56-24. Oregon outdid Oregon State by a score of 41-7. Nebraska lost to Michigan. The final score was 30-27. Want the next 5 games?
Yes.
Notre Dame overcame Purdue by a score of 56-30. UCF overcame North Carolina by a score of 34-9. Ole Miss bested Tulane by a score of 45-10. Florida State outdid Kent State by a score of 66-10. Oklahoma outdid Auburn by a score of 24-17. Want the next 5 games?
Yes.
Duke beat NC State by a score of 45-33. Mississippi State beat Northern Illinois by a score of 38-10. Georgia Tech defeated Temple by a score of 45-24. Kansas defeated West Virginia by a score of 41-10. Missouri bested South Carolina by a score of 29-20. Do you want to hear the last 5 games?
Yes.
Baylor was defeated by Arizona State. The final score was 27-24. Virginia bested Stanford by a score of 48-20. Vanderbilt outdid Georgia State by a score of 70-21. Washington State was beaten by Washington. The final score was 59-24. And Indiana overcame Illinois by a score of 63-10.
What's the score for Nebraska football?
Nebraska lost to Michigan last Saturday. The final score was 30-27.
Nebraska has a bye week. They will play on October 5th. NFL scores.
Here are the results from the NFL for Week 3. The Ravens were beaten by the Lions yesterday. The final score was 38-30. The Browns beat the Packers by a score of 13-10 last Sunday. The Buccaneers beat the Jets by a score of 29-27 last Sunday. The Commanders overcame the Raiders by a score of 41-24 last Sunday. The Eagles bested the Rams by a score of 33-26 last Sunday. Do you want to hear the next 5 games?
Yes.
The Jaguars bested the Texans by a score of 17-10 last Sunday. The Panthers outdid the Falcons by a score of 30-0 last Sunday. The Patriots were beaten by the Steelers last Sunday. The final score was 21-14. The Titans lost to the Colts last Sunday. The final score was 41-20. The Vikings beat the Bengals by a score of 48-10 last Sunday. Want the next 5 games?
Yes.
The Chargers overcame the Broncos by a score of 23-20 last Sunday. The Seahawks bested the Saints by a score of 44-13 last Sunday. The 49ers beat the Cardinals by a score of 16-15 last Sunday. The Bears bested the Cowboys by a score of 31-14 last Sunday. The Giants were beaten by the Chiefs last Sunday. The final score was 22-9. And the Bills beat the Dolphins by a score of 31-21 last Thursday.
And that here is a look at our sports.
5:28 p.m.
Make sure you guys have the notification bell on. Let me try that again. Make sure you guys have the notification bell on. You do not want to miss an upload. Ladies and gentlemen, more to come. Do not worry about that. Kristen is hanging out with me This coming weekend, we will have the Bro Show for you on Saturday. And don't forget, every Wednesday, we will have the Vote Variety Mix at 10 Central, 11 Eastern. And that goes until 2 a.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. Central. Make sure you guys have ways to listen. You can listen by going to http://listen.986themix.com :8532/live2. You can also listen on Ashley Wells's random stream. If you have ways to listen there, you can listen there. And, ladies and gentlemen, something new that I did. I downloaded the Westwood One Sports app. So, you know how college football and the NFL are on Westwood One? It will notify me every game that they have on Westwood One. So, for those of you that love football, make sure you listen to Westwood One on Sunday at 8:30 a.m. Central, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, as there will be football on Sunday morning. Iowa State will play Saturday evening, 6 o'clock. KSOM will have the coverage, so if you want to listen to 96.5, you can. KSOM will have the coverage. That is a look at our sports for college and NFL. More to come. Make sure you like, subscribe, tap the bell, keep comments appropriate and respectful. We'll see you next time, or I'll see you next time. Peace!